Hey guys, what's happening? This is Forgo Nation, and today we are going to talk about Slapstick. I was sitting there looking through my roster and I thought, is there someone I'm forgetting? And it was this guy. I actually had this guy just at 6 stars. What is he even at a tier 2? And I was looking at his bios like, oh my god, I got enough bios to do this guy naturally. So I actually tier 2'd this guy with all the extra bios from the bio sub, which is pretty funny because I actually forgot all about him because I was grinding him the old-fashioned way through that bio sub. So let's get into it, guys. Slapstick looks pretty freaking cool, pretty awesome, you know. Honestly, what can I say now that hasn't been said about Slapstick? I think everybody and their mother has already talked about this guy and made a ton of videos about him. But I gotta throw in my 2 cents, guys. He looks pretty damn dope, and I think he's pretty awesome, to be honest. He is a really cool and fun character. It's wild that he's a universal. He's a physical attacking character. That's pretty wild. He has 15,000 physical attack. He has max attack speed, 29 crit rate, 166 critical damage. I believe he gets an extra 30% crit rate damage from, or not crit rate from his force skill. He also has max skill cooldown and max ignore defense. All of his gears are 20, no Urus, you guys know how I like to do it. And all of his skills are at 6. And you take a look at everything that's going on. This guy's got a pretty awesome kit. His passive, his tier 2 passive increases all attack by 30%, all defense by 20%. This lasts for 10 seconds. Very nice. But it's a 40% chance when attacking. Had to throw that in there. And the one, no big deal. Burn damage is pretty much useless in this game. This is an interesting skill. It has 75% chance to penetrate with super armor, barrier shield, all damage immune, and invincible for 5 seconds. That's interesting. And he has a 4-second immunity. Pretty freaking cool. Pretty freaking cool. And then you look at his third skill. No big deal, little burn damage. Now let's look at his 4-star passive. He gets a revive with 50% of max HP. So you die, he comes back to life with half of his HP. That's pretty cool. That is cool. His 4th skill, this is a really awesome skill. Gives him a minus 6% decrease of all defenses that stacks up to 50% and ignores immunity, which means it works in World Boss. Has lasts for 8 seconds. Pretty nice, guys. He has a 6.5% recovery of max HP that lasts for 2 seconds. So he's got a heal. He has a 4-second immunity. And he's got another attack buff on this skill. Increase 30% all attack. Crit rate by 30%. Removes incapacitation. And this lasts for 10 seconds. So you can keep the all attack buff up. The crit rate buff up. The whole time you're fighting for the most part. And he gets 5 seconds of super armor. Which is pretty cool. It's kind of useless, to be honest, in the rotation that I do, but it's still nice to give that super armor. And all defense buff by 60%. Really cool skill. Love it. And then his 5th skill, he gets a damage accumulation that's based on how much damage you deal, which is awesome. You don't have to worry about taking damage. And he has a 6 seconds of invincibility. And the reason I say this super armor doesn't really matter here is because invincibility gives super armor in the rotation that I do. I actually do the 5. Wait a moment and then cancel into the 4. And you guys can see that works out pretty damn good. At least it is for me. So, and his leadership is just an increased lightning resist by 50%. Yeah, it could be useful, but honestly, it's kind of useless to be. So let's check this guy out. So let's look at his. Wait a minute. I believe I have the SFX animation off. Well, actually, I don't even think it matters if it is off. Let's check this out. Let's find out. Let's look at his 5th skill. There we go. Look at that. That is freaking dope. That is freaking dope. I love it. I love it. So cool. Look at his 4th skill. Very nice. And there you see that all defense down. Nice little slam there at the end that gives that stun. Then you got the 2 skill. This is that skill that gives that immunity. That is cool. Look at that. Look at this. Beam. That's wild. That is wild. This is a really cool character. The 1 skill, little bat thing, kind of reminds me of Lady Deadpool. And then the 3rd skill, similar. Very cool. I love the ball. Rolling bomb, man. That is freaking nice. So the rotation that I use, guys, is I hit the 5, I wait for the book to show up, boom, and then I hit the 4. And if you notice, you get all the residual damage from the 5th skill. When you hit the 4, look at this. That's all you see from the 4th skill. Now watch what happens when we hit the 5-4. Hit the 5, wait for the book to show up. Boom, then hit the 4. Look at all that damage. That is nice. And then you get that damage proc on the 4. Get the all defense down. It is sweet. After that, it's pretty versatile in what you want to do. I'm going to do 2 different runs where I'll just do the 5-4. And then I'll go into the 3. And that's it. And then in another run, I'll do 5-4, 3, 2. And the reason I'll be doing that, guys, is because we're going to be trying to get Weapon X's all defense down to come in and strike as much as we can. And the more that we attack, the more often that she'll come in, increasing our chances of getting that all defense down. So that's why you're going to see a little bit variation in the rotation, but virtually the same. He has a Stage 6 Power of Angry Hawk set, and I just got a regular critical damage obelisk with 160% damage proc. Nothing big at all. And no uniform. So guys, let's get into the action, and let's rock and roll. Oh yeah, look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. See how he's turned into a cartoon? That is freaking cool. Man, this guy is really wild. He's just... You know, this is not no OP character by any means, but you guys can see he is pretty strong, actually. Especially for being a level 60 character and with the build that I have going on with him. He is pretty freaking strong. So again, let's rock and roll. Bam! Okay guys, so in this first run, we're just going to use Beast Leadership for that 50% physical attack, and we're just going to use Coulson for that 45% damage out supervillains, and that guaranteed 20% crit rate. And we're doing stage 50, guys. The only striker we're going to use is Rachel because she's going to crowd control Proxima enough so you guys get an idea of what kind of damage he has without all those extra all defense down strikers. And something that's really interesting about Slapstick is that he has about a 10.5 second cooldown on his 5th skill. Well, your damage procs about every 7 seconds. So it usually this... I really don't like this, but the thing is, his 2nd skill and his 3rd skill actually do decent damage. So if you do miss the proc and you land it on the 3 or the 2 while there's an all defense down engaged, especially from Weapon Hex, you're going to do a massive amount of damage. It's pretty awesome, guys. Like, pretty impressive. So, yeah. And what we're doing here is if you're going to do just 5, 4, 3, what I do is I hit the 5 and we see the book, and then I hit the 4. And then I wait till there's about 4 or 3 seconds left on the 4th skill, then I do the 3rd skill. The reason I'm doing that is because we want to keep Rachel coming in there and striking and keep crowd controlling Proxima. Now in the next run, we're just going to use Scarlet, and we're going to do a little bit different rotation. But for this run, this is the way we're doing it. I just want to show you guys 2 different rotations, and this will work just as well. It's just when we bring in all those extra all defense down strikers, I want to use the 2nd skill to try to attack as much as possible to bring in our all defense down strikers as often as possible. But you guys can see, man, he's pretty damn strong. I mean, considering this build, this is pretty spectacular. I mean, I'm pretty blown away. It's a real shame that he's a paywall. I wish more people would, be able to get him. But, man, I'm loving Slapstick. I think he's a pretty cool character. Easy to play. Let's pause it. So you guys can see that we got about 7.5 bars to go, and we have 3 minutes left. So he can definitely clear stage 50, which is pretty freaking nuts. So let's see what he can do with the strikers. Now check this out, guys. We're going to do the same exact team, but now we got our OP strikers in here. And this is a stage 65, 15 stages higher. And we're using Scarlet, Sue, Weapon Hex, Thanos, and Silver Surfer. And I've explained why we use those strikers. Now, the thing about Slapstick is he does have all defense down on his 4th skill. But because it only lasts for 8 seconds, I throw in that 2 at the very end to bring in my strikers. That way, Weapon Hex will come in there, get her all defense down before we can use Slapsticks. And you guys are going to see there's going to be some massive spikes and damage. Now you could throw in Rachel and you could put her in here as well if you want to. That's completely fine. But as long as we're getting it done, that's all that matters. As long as we get the clear. And honestly, if he can do stage 65 with this build at level 60, 160% damage proc and no Urus, it's pretty impressive if you ask me. I think that's pretty awesome. The striker thing really is crazy. I mean, he's got some power. He's got some power. And like I said, if you miss your damage proc on your 4th skill, your 5-4 combo, you'll still do a ton of damage on the 3 or the 2. Look at that. Look at that damage, guys. Massive amount of damage. That was almost 3 bars. Almost 3 bars. So that was pretty freaking cool. And we want to keep Proxima locked down. That way we can do that much more damage. You want to take advantage of the striker situation. It is what it is. Get him, girl. Get him, boy. Get him. Well, get her is what I should say. Now there our proc landed on our 2 skills. So we're going to poke around a little bit. Now we're going to try to get our proc back on the 5-4. And there we go. We got back on the 5-4. And look at that little spike. And that damage from that 4 just lasts a little while. So sometimes it's best just to kind of let it play out. And hope that the all defense down from Weapon X comes in there. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you don't have Weapon Hex, you could always bring in Negasonic. She's a great choice as well. Deadpool. It won't be these kind of spikes, though, with those characters. Look at him go. Look at that, guys. I mean, he is melting the crap out of this stage. We could go higher than this. We could go higher than this. Now there, I just wanted to attack Proxima, get her locked down, get her under mind control. Oh, we are doing it too. It is really cool watching him, the little explosions that he throws out, the freaking 2nd skill with the beam. Another reason I just want to use the 2nd skill is just because I love watching it. I just think it's cool. And we're dealing with tornadoes in this stage, so it's good to have that extra immunity up on top of the invincibility from the 5th skill. That way you're not getting snared, which is pretty cool. Watch out, watch out, watch out. I mean, this guy's got a ton of survivability. And guys, look, we're not even dying. I mean, he's pretty amazing. And when you're doing this rotation, guys, you want to do 5-4, then you'll hit your 3. And when you have 3 seconds left on your 4, go ahead and hit your 2. If you wait longer than that, what's going to happen is your proc's going to set off on your 2nd skill. And because of the long cooldown on the 5, you don't want to do that. Now, you could go back and forth and proc on the 5-4, and then on the maybe 4-3, get the all defense down from the 4 and the 3. But I find that what I'm doing seems to work pretty well, as you guys can see. This is not an OP team, and we just cleared this with 1 minute and 27 seconds left, stage 65. Pretty insane, man. Loving Slapstick. I think he's fantastic. Any books? Nope, no books, but it's all good, man. It's all good. So guys, let me know what you think about Slapstick, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. You all take care and have a good one.